Hello, and welcome to what might be just the best business opportunity that you've seen in a while. My name is Nick Theodore. This is my friend and colleague, Todd Fittro, and we're going to go over exactly what we do and how we do it so that you can generate a six-figure or multi-six-figure income in our industry. We actually work in the financial services arena in a very specific form of it called life insurance, but in the even smaller venue of living benefit life insurance. Have you ever wondered how much you're actually worth, or are you dissatisfied with your job, the pay that you get, the fact that you're not enjoying what you do and you don't see much of a future in it? Are you still racking up a lot of debt? Do you still have student loan debt that you don't ever see your way of getting out of? This is a great opportunity for either a new career or a part-time opportunity to keep your other position and work with us on a part-time basis so that you can generate some income to be able to pay off some of those things and start getting ahead in life. You know, my friend Todd here and I are here to help you achieve these goals. I'm going to go over a little bit about what living benefit life insurance is so that you can understand why this is actually very exciting. You might not think insurance being exciting, and I really never did either, right, Todd? But what is exciting is that $1.4 trillion flows through this industry every single year in the insurance world in the United States of America. That part is exciting to me. It was very intriguing. So most of all of us know that life insurance is really just death insurance, and it pays when someone is dead and it pays somebody else, right? This policy here that we have with a couple different companies is living benefit life insurance. What it does is it pays people while they're alive instead of while they're dead. Not cash value that's been built up in a policy for 20 or 30 years. No. You get a policy with us, with these companies, that has a living benefit to it, like a critical illness. That means if you get a heart attack, stroke, cancer, kidney failure, organ transplant, ALS, Alzheimer's, things like that, a life event, most people will absolutely survive them. Your life insurance policy is not going to advance you any of that money. But see, if Todd here has a living benefit life insurance policy with one of our carriers like Mutual of Omaha, he's going to be able to advance a large sum of that money. So if he has a $200,000 policy, he comes down with cancer, chances are he's going to survive it. He can advance $50,000, $100,000, $150,000 from that death benefit to help him with medical bills, maybe taking some time off of work. I mean, you're not going to want to go to work when you're going through chemotherapy treatments, you know. Plus, cancer loves stress. And what's stress? Well, not being able to pay your bills. So these things could literally be lifesavers for you. The other thing it has is a chronic illness benefit. So if you need some kind of an in-home health care situation, you can advance, again, a large sum of the benefit. If you have a terminal illness, God forbid, well, you can advance money before you die, like within the last 12 months of your life expectancy. You can get access to this money. So it's a complete game changer in the life insurance world. Have you heard of it? Probably not. Why is that? Well, because there's only a few companies out there that have this kind of a product available, and we've been developing it with these insurance carriers for a while now, for a few years. There's about 815 life insurance companies in this country, but there's only a few of them that have living benefits with it that do not charge extra for the benefit. You don't have to be completely healthy to be able to get it, and you do not need a medical exam to qualify for it either. There's about a dozen medical questions, there's a background check on the application, and then boom, the person's qualified. In fact, we can even get instant decision because some of that stuff happens on an automated and computer basis where you can be sitting with a client in the house and get an instant decision before you even give them a quote, see if they're going to qualify with that company. So, you know, you would be an independent contractor. You do have to get a life insurance license for your state. You know, Todd lives in Alabama, and I split time between Florida and Ohio. But no matter where you are in this country, we can help you get started. So we don't have to be in your backyard to be able to do that. Now, getting a license. You can just Google and go online, and you'll find a whole bunch of places where you can get a life insurance license study course to prepare you for this test. You'll pay between $200 and $300 to be able to do that. We will give you a discount code so you can go to that same company and get it discounted to between $50 and $60 depending on your state. Then you'll study for a few days or a week, take your test at a state authorized testing facility. You'll pay between $80 and $120 there to be able to take the test there, pass it, and then they're going to want you to get fingerprinted. Typically, it happens right there. And the reason for that is they're going to do a background check with you. Like the Department of Insurance wants to make sure that you're an upstanding individual like Todd is here, and you're going to be trusted going into people's homes and sitting down with them and collecting very private, sensitive information like banking information, social security number, driver's license. Not everybody's allowed to do that. So if you've got felony convictions or jail time, you're going to want to call the Department of Insurance for your state, tell them your specific situation before we talk, and see if this is even a viable option for you to get a license, okay? So a couple $100 of an investment, you'll be legal to go out there and start selling insurance. And the great part is that your first sale, you make about $500 back, so you've already doubled your complete investment in this entire venture with your first sale. There's some other perks to this too. You know, this will pay you exactly what you're worth, right? You know, this past year in the industry in 2019, we made over $1 million in this business with living benefit life insurance. So it's extremely lucrative, and I've got many agents out there making a multi-six-figure income in their first couple of years in this industry. That's not at all unusual. But there's also some other perks. We get trips, you know, like this year we'll be going to Maui with the insurance companies. Next year we're going to be going to Canada and a couple other really nice places. But I've been to Fiji and Barbados and cruises and Punta Cana and Dominican Republic. Been to a bunch of places, all on the insurance company's dimes, right? Because they want to reward people that can go out and sell insurance and build business like this with some incentive trips, which is pretty fun. The other thing that we do is in our group, specifically in the Theodore group, we have profit sharing, okay? So we gave back in excess of $200,000 last year back to our agents in profit sharing. So we've got some really nice perks for you, whether you're a full-time agent or a part-time agent, that's completely fine. So we're going to go over 4 basic elements that are going to show you what we do to see if this is a good fit. First of all, we're going to talk about training you, right? Because you're going to go from where you are now to being an expert in this industry to be able to sell insurance to people. We're also going to talk about the companies that we work for and why these are the best companies in America to partner with and how to get contracted with them, who our clientele is going to be, and then of course how you get paid, because that's clearly very critical, right? We don't do this for free. So let's talk first of all, Todd, about training, right? Like when somebody comes on board, you know, you go from not knowing anything about this industry like I was back in 2009 to being able to sit down, you know, call up a client, go to their house, sit down with them, talk to them about very, very sensitive things like their medications and hospitalizations and what their risk factor is, and collect banking information, social security number, and then walk out of there and with a pat on the back saying, thanks for taking care of me today. And the person's, you know, committed to a monthly payment of $85 a month, and now they've got the best kind of insurance out there. When they come on board with the Fittro agency, what can they expect from us?
Well, what I love so much about it is I didn't know anything about the industry either when I first started. It's a step-by-step process that's laid out very simply on the process you go through to get to that point, to be able to sit at the home. So it was an easy process for me. Do 1, do 2, all the way through step 7. Nick and I are here together to really just walk you through that. And it's an easy process to follow. And within a month, I was in a home.
Absolutely. And you know what? So if you don't even have an insurance license, like a month from now, you could start making sales and being paid. If you have an insurance license, we can move even quicker, and you can probably be selling insurance in the next couple of days. We've actually even got another manager in between us named Casey Wood, who is one of my top producers and regional managers with the company. And so there's 3 layers of people, qualified people that are going to help get you set up to be trained. You know, a lot of the training involves knowing what the products do and how they do it. So we've got a lot of very, very simple, helpful aids when it comes to that. But there's a lot of companies out there that just aren't getting in this space yet. But the ones that have are under the umbrella of something called Equus Financial. And so what Equus has done is they've collected together all of these companies that have living benefits, you know, about a half a dozen or so, and they're all under one roof, and we'll get you contracted with every one of them so that when you go out there, you're going to have the best of the best options for them. Now, we've even got like something better than that. About 2.5 years ago, myself and 4 other people at Equus Financial had a task of creating a better product that would basically cover more people with a higher risk, but still be less expensive for the client. And we did that, and it came out at the beginning of 2019, and it is now about 40 to 42% of all of our sales, which is impressive because we've got about 16 or 17 carriers that you can choose from. But this one is far and above, in most situations, the best option. So if you're kind of looking at us and looking at another company that might be in a similar space, just know that we can beat them every day of the week because we've got the best product out there that they do not have access to. See, it's a company called Government Personnel Mutual, and we've got a product called Equus Equity Protector, and we've got a 5-year exclusive contract on that product before they can let anybody else have it. And we're only 1 year into it. We've got 2 more companies right now that are doing the exact same thing, and we're bringing more products to the industry. And the reason that they're only partnering with Equus is because we're a superior company when it comes to that. So Todd, when you go, because you've been in-home sales for a long time, so when you go see a client, how confident are you that you're going to have the best option for them?
Oh, I have 100% confidence. I've worked in other industries where I've just had 1 or 2 options. So now when I walk in a home, I know there's something available that's going to fit their needs. And all we have to do is find out exactly which one's best for them and help them get there.
Right. And so you start thinking about these clients, who are these people? How do we find these people that want living benefit life insurance, especially if hardly anybody's ever even heard of it before, right? I mean, I kind of think about, back in 2007, we all thought our cell phones were pretty cool, those flip phones, because we could talk, text, and take pictures with them. But then we see Steve Jobs walk across stage with an iPhone that you can talk, text, and take pictures with too. But you could do a whole bunch of other things with it, and everybody wanted to get rid of their flip phones and get the iPhone. That's where we're at right now. We're in front of a wave of an advanced form of insurance that when people are given the opportunity, they want. They just don't know about it yet. So it's our job to educate them. So how do we do that? Well, we've got a couple partnerships with some marketing companies that they provide what they call leads for us, okay? So the way a lead works is that if, let's just say you purchase a new home there in Alabama and it's $185,000, well, the lead company is going to get that information and send out a letter to you and say, hey, Todd, would you like to have a qualified agent get back with you about protecting your loan in the event of your death, disability, critical, chronic, terminal illness? And oh, by the way, if you don't use the product by the end of the term, you get your money back, okay? If that interests you, please fill this out and we'll have a qualified agent contact you. So we partner with 3 specific companies that will do the marketing for us. Now, when we talked before about our profit sharing system, here's where that comes into play. Whenever you're trading time and energy, you know what you have is a job. Doesn't matter how good or how bad it is, you have a job. When you're trading time, energy, and a little bit of money, you now have a business, which I've had since 1992, and this is the one with, by far, the highest profit margins in it. My typical agents will profit anywhere from 80 to 95% profit. The only expense they have is gas going to and from the person's house, and then purchasing leads for qualified clients. So you might say, are these leads any good? Well, if I'm willing to spend almost $200,000 buying them for some of my agents throughout the year, absolutely they're awesome, because if they weren't, I would be wasting a whole lot of money, which I'm not all about doing. So you would spend a couple $100, get some leads, and make that into $1,000 or $200, right? Spend $200, make $1,200, $1,500, $1,800, and basically turn that money over in the period of a couple of days. And here's the great part with us and our group. See, we give back and we want to invest in the number one asset in this world, which is a qualified person. So you write your first policy. Here's what you're going to get. You're going to get $100 of real money sent to you into an account that the only thing you can do with it is purchase leads, okay? And this is not from me or anyone. This is like purchase leads from one of these 3 companies. Casey Wood, the manager in between, will send you another $100. And then I will send you $100. Why? For writing one policy. So you can then take that $300 and turn it into $1,500 or $1,800 or $2,000. Why? Because we know in the beginning you probably aren't going to be as good as you will be down the road. And so we want to just give you a little bit of an extra push. And we're going to continue to do things like that on a weekly and a monthly basis, so you can start earning hundreds or sometimes thousands of dollars of lead credit in a month, so your expenses stay really low and your profits remain really high. because when that happens, you stay in business and you are an asset for us. Why would we do that? Well, the insurance companies also give us a bonus when you make a sale. So if you make a sale and you get $500 deposited into your account, you see, we might each get $50 or $100 deposited into ours because of the work that we're doing in conjunction with that. So we're willing to take some of that money and give it back to you in the form of lead credit to keep that process working more. So you'll be able to, with us, to have higher profit margins than you will with our competitors. So, Todd, when it comes to these leads, would you be able to go out there and do in-home sales without them?
No, that'd be really difficult because I have kind of friends and family, but once you run through that, then where else do you go? And I've been in cold calling in the past, and knocking on somebody's door is a difficult way to go. So having a qualified person to call who's actually invited you to call them is just tenfold in a return for us. And we've been very excited with the way it's worked.
And last year our group had about 50 to 70 agents on a weekly basis selling insurance, right? It kind of fluctuates because, everybody's an independent contractor. Some people are on vacation. Some people only work every couple of weeks because they're part-time. And so it kind of fluctuates in between there. But we would have about 150 to 200 applications submitted during that week. And probably except about 5 of those or 6 of those would all be directly from the leads. Like, can you get referrals? Sure. Can you sell to friends and family? Absolutely. It's just a lot easier to sell to people that are asking for the kind of insurance that you'll be trained to sell. And Todd and his wife Kathleen are extremely good and extremely generous at helping you being able to do that. So that comes down to how you get paid. Okay, now the money's not going to come to us and some funky things are going to happen with it and you'll get whatever we give you. It'll be direct deposited from Mutual of Omaha, if that's a policy you write, directly into your checking account that you give to them. Okay, so it's a direct deposit. Now, you're going to start at a starter contract that'll equal about a 70% contract with the insurance companies. And you can start moving up in 5% increments every few months based on your performance. So if you ever wanted to say, I think I deserve a raise, well, then you can prove that you deserve one by just hitting these particular requirements that are very, very simple and easy to do. And then you'll get yourself a raise. And it goes up in 5% increments each time. In fact, Todd, we've even got one promotion that'll jump you from a 70% to an 80% like immediately. So if you end up talking with Todd or Kathleen about this business, ask them about how to do that because that'll help get you jump started even quicker, putting more money in your pocket. But on average, you make about $500 to $600 in your account on an average sale. Now, because we're a brokerage house, we've got different companies that are all going to fluctuate a little bit on that percentage based on their product spectrum and what it is that they're selling. But we do have a chart that shows you exactly what companies give you what commission at what level. So that way you can choose exactly what you want to sell that person. Now, I'm of the opinion that says, look, just let's do the best thing for the client every time, and everything else just kind of works its way out. And that's how I just believe it is, because I wouldn't want to sell something that's more expensive to someone just to make a few extra bucks. I would rather do the best thing for them because I want to make sure that I'm doing the right thing honestly for my conscience and for that particular client. So, when it comes to like deposits, there's electronic applications out there, there's paper applications. When you're doing electronic application and you can see that the client already is covered and they draft the account, it's like you can get paid in a couple of days, right?
It's exciting to see that. Yeah. Just look at the app every day. It's fun.
Yep. And so, you'll get emails from insurance companies and you can check the website and you'll see what you're going to be getting the next day or a couple of days in commissions. It's not like the old kind of death insurance where, you had to make a sale and then you got to turn in the application, and then you got to order the exam, and then the lady has to come out and, meet up with the person after they fast and then take their blood and urine and EKG and all that kind of junk. And all of a sudden, 3 months later, the person has a 50% chance of qualifying, right? It's like, that's not it. This is like simplified insurance, and we've got categories. We got super, super healthy people, we got average people, and we got hot mess people, right? And there's like a little bit of difference between all of those in between, but we're going to figure out what category they're in based on their risk. So the one thing that we do with our group is that we've also got the interesting ability to hire other people and create what's called an override or a bonus from the insurance company based on the fact that if it's just us selling, or if it's us and maybe a couple other people or a team or an army, right? And so Todd's got a lot of management skills with him and Kathleen. I know Kathleen's a former school teacher at a high level, and so if she can manage kids, she can manage adults.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? It's like the kids are way, way harder these days. So they got excellent management skills, and myself and Casey will help as well. So if you want to hire people and start making some other income when they're making sales too, we can show you how to do that. It's not something you have to do, but we're going to enroll you 2 ways. With a license, we'll get you as a writing agent, so you're legally able to sell insurance in your state. But we'll also enroll you as a general agent, so you have the ability to hire somebody else and then be able to collect an override or a bonus from the insurance company when that agent makes a sale. Now, you're going to do some work for it, right? We're not like some multi-level marketing company where you don't do anything, right? We're going to earn that. You know, we do a lot of work to earn that $1 million income that we earned this year. But if that's something that you want to do, that is certainly something that we can discuss, okay? But if somebody says, you know what, this seems like a good thing, what would be the next step, Todd?
Well, if you are happy with what Nick and I have been talking about, if you would text me at 205-800-4940 and text the word freedom, give us your name and let us know what time zone you're in, and we'll get in touch with you.
So thanks a lot for listening to what we have. You know, we do honestly believe this is probably the best opportunity in the country for people right now. We do a lot of good with helping people get the best kind of insurance they could possibly get and do extremely well financially in the process. So we're looking forward to seeing you.